Salve a tutti, sono Almarok e benvenuti in un nuovo video. Oggi siamo qui per fare un'intervista ad Afazel, noto anche come Zell, cantante, tastierista e chitarrista degli Ancient, band di cui abbiamo già parlato qui sul canale. Prima di iniziare io ringrazio Zell per la sua grande disponibilità, vi invito a lasciare like al video e a iscrivervi se non l'avete ancora fatto. Detto questo, vi auguro buona visione.
I'm Almarok. I'm here with Afazel or Zell, which you prefer?
Zell.
Okay, with Zell from Ancient. Nice to meet you. Thank you for accepting this.
You're welcome.
Why you started to do music and why you started to do black metal and your influences, your best influences in your career.
Before I was playing in Ancient, I was playing in a death metal band around 91, 92. I wasn't the main composer of the music. I was making a few riffs, but I was just a member of the band basically, and the band just existed for about 2 years. It was called Putrefaction. Then when the band broke up, I wanted to start my own band. And at the time, I was very impressed by bands like Dark Throne, Bursum, Bathory. And I started to develop my own sound, make some demos. And I joined the drummer of Putrefaction, Grim, and started playing together.
Okay.
So that's the beginning of Ancient.
Second question is about the Ancient thematics. You know, Ancient are famous for the vampiric thematics. Why you starting the idea to make vampire lyrics in the Ancient music?
So there was basically just 2 albums with Ancient that had vampire lyrics. That was the Kenyan Chronicle and Mad Brandy of Blood Fiends, because the lyrics was written by Caiaphas, the vocalist at the time, and he was very much into the vampire theme. So that was basically his thing. I wasn't actually involved with the lyrical theme at all that time. So apart from those 2 albums, we haven't really had any thing to do with the vampire theme. It was just one area of Ancient from 96 to 98, basically.
I know you like Italy, like country. You know, I know you lived in Italy, if I remember well.
Yes, I was living in most of Italy, Lago Maggiore, on this area for about 7 years, basically, from 98 to 2005.
What do you think about the metal scene in Italy? Do you like any band?
Yeah, I know mostly the scene from North Italy, because that's where I stayed the most, and there's a lot of interesting bands. I really like Mortuary Drape, The Holy Death SS, Mystical Full Moon, Forgotten Tomb, and there's a lot of other bands. It seems that the scene has been very active there the last 10, 15 years, especially. There was not many bands from the 90s that was getting international recognition, but the bands, especially like Mortuary Drape, Death Test, Necrodeath, those I like very much, and they have their own particular style. Especially Mortuary Drape is a band I really like very much. They are very unique in their sound, and they're different than the other bands, and they have a very unique atmosphere. And
the future project, where is the Ancient future?
We are starting in March to do kind of an anniversary tour from the Kenyan Chronicle.
Oh.
It was supposed to be 25-year anniversary, but because of COVID, and the days will be like actually 28, but we just call it anniversary tour. So that will start in March. We have already booked a show in Romania and Bulgaria. We have a festival in Serbia in July, possibly even Turkey in September. And at the moment, they're actually working on booking some Italian gigs for next year. So we have a lot of shows with the Kenyan Chronicle tour, probably all until the end of next year. And in the meanwhile, when we have time, we will be working on the album also.
Did you come in Italy? Naples is possible in a future?
Yeah, we hope so. We already played in Caserta last year, and we hope to come there again. It was a good experience, and we would very much like to visit basically anywhere we can. And Naples is a very nice area. We like the place, and the people are really nice there. So we definitely hope to come there next year.
Your opinion, what is changed in the black metal scene when you have started from nowadays?
In the beginning, when we started like around 92, 93, there was very much an underground scene. There was no internet, there was no mobile phones, and everything was moving very slowly. We're communicating with sending letters in the email, in the mail, and sometimes we was calling people abroad. If you want to communicate with somebody in America, you usually have to call them on telephone, and it was very expensive, and things were just a lot more difficult than it is now. A lot of bands, they just were tape trading and got to discover new music that way. So things were in a way more difficult, but in some way compared to now, it was more exciting because you always had to make a lot of effort. You want to get some album from a new band, you can today you can just go on internet, you just click some buttons and you have it for free, and it's so easy. But back then you usually had to even send money in the mail and wait for a few weeks to get an album, and everything was a lot more difficult. And the music scene, especially here in Norway, has developed very, very much. And there are so many new bands in black metal and extreme metal that I keep hearing new names like all the time. I don't know how many black metal bands there are in Norway now, but it seems to be hundreds that has popped up the last few years. And many of them are very good. So it seems Norway still has a very promising scene. It's different than early 90s when everything was new, and you can say it was very easy for a band to create their own original sound because there weren't already 200 other bands who were playing a similar style. And back in the days before it was the internet, you had to just send physical CDs or tapes around the world. Everything was taking much more time and everything cost money. And musically, the bands in 92, 93, when the genre was totally new, it was very easy for bands to develop their own original sound. And say like bands like Immortal, Burzum, Enslaved, Emperor, Satyricon all had their own unique sound because the genre was basically new and it was easy to develop your own personal style in black metal.
What is for you the most representative album of your career?
I think maybe I would say Svartalfheim because it was the first album, and I felt that when we had nothing from the past to consider, it was easy to kind of introduce a new style and develop our own sound, you could say. Each album later is different, but that one is maybe the most representative.
An advice for people like me want to be a black metal musician nowadays. So I have my own band, and I want to start my career in music. An advice for young people like me.
I think first of all, you should try to see: are you doing it mostly just because it's a passion, it's a hobby, or do you intend to do something bigger with it, like eventually in the future to make money of it, to do touring? Because that basically puts you on two different paths. What's your goal? What's your inspiration? To make money from the music now, it's not impossible, but it's very, very difficult because there's so many bands that are out in the scene playing concerts, and it's really an excruciating competition, you could say. It's not impossible, but it's a really, really lot of hard work. If all the amount of time and energy put in will not really give back much money compared to spending time on the job. When you do it for a passion, as a hobby, and then the money comes in as a secondary issue, then I think that's the good way to think of it, because it's creating an art. You shouldn't be really thinking about trying to get paid, because it has become very hard over the years with the thousands of bands everywhere. But I think at first you have to find out your personal style what can you create that's different from the other bands out there. Don't try to sound like other bands. Don't try to follow any kind of a standard or so. You just have to find your unique sound and basically put your soul into the music so that you keep your identity, your see what you have, which is original and different from the other bands. And then when you have started to develop your sound, your concept, and you see that you're getting some fans and some recognition from it, then you can build from there and basically develop your own band into any kind of genre that you want. That's my opinion. What's the most important.
Okay, thank you for your time, and thank you for spend time with me. Thank you.
You are welcome. We'll speak soon. Okay, bye bye.